Crown is still uncontested, and it's ticking slowly towards TR.
It's reached the point now. It's gone past halfway. Howling Pass was completely uncontested, which means now Innis Material Storage already has about just under a squad waiting to flip it. Crimson Bluff is going in their favour, but I guess perhaps if they get 1 point, that is the Emerald Force, they can stall it out. And it looks like Emerald is just playing the stalling game now, and they're playing very hard. Yep, now they've got 3 points in the Biolab, and it's up to 5 minutes again, but it's now in their favour. So Emerald is now in control of the Biolab.
A single TR infiltrator has flipped the Crown, and there's only 2 minutes left. I mean, Connery really must be worried about the Crown.
At 1 to 12, well, they've got a few people now, at least maybe Flyers or whatnot. But yeah, 2 minutes on the Crown, they've got to redeploy, they've got to do something. But they're heavily outpopped at the Biolab. They can't keep overpop at Vanu Archives because it's a 12-minute base cap and Indar Bay Point. They've got to do something about the Biolab or the Crown. They can't give away the Crown for free that easily, because then it allows you to get easy access into Server Station.
Alright, can you refresh your page, please, mate?
1 page refresh coming up. And all 4 points now.
Must be getting worried now.
All 4 points. But the thing is, have they got an Air Force? Sorry, we're just going to have a quick peek. Yeah, they're hacking the previous base, but the thing is, are they blocking the teleport? Because there's no Sunders. The external Sunders are gone, and to teleport, they need to run out in the open. So actually, if you were Emerald, you would actually try and bomb this access point to, and it's a wonderful diversionary cap that just buys a couple of seconds, and you can theoretically block the teleporter. So when it comes to the Biolab itself, the reinforcements are definitely in Emerald's favour. And actually, I need to fix this.
It's an extremely smart play for the TR to take this base, even though they can still contest the Latum as long as it's still neutral. If they fight at Botany Wing, that means the NC focus is going to be there, and they can't use the teleport. They have no way to get back in, so they force the fight to happen outside, and maybe even get another base as well as a Latum on top, and secure a Latum at the same time. It's a very good play for NC. From TR, sorry.
Actually, some of the TRs are actually using Lockdown. It's a good play. I mean, if you're going to have it, I mean, it's a huge amount of damage. Yeah. It looks like Charlie's the only point that currently being held now by the Connery. Tell you what, while I'm watching the Biolab fight, why don't you just give us a wrap-up of what's going on at the Crown, Crimson Bluff, maybe Innis Material, Indar Bay Point, just so everyone here can listen and hear what's going on while we watch this fight.
At the Crown, we have a single NC Galaxy coming in now from Connery, bombing A point, picking off half a squad. Maybe Connery are trying to make a quick resecure. They're flipping C and B as well, so they've sorted out that issue for now at least. At Crimson Bluff, I'm going to have to say this is going to go to Connery. They have large overpop and 30 seconds left on the cap. Unless Emerald does something quick, that's going to go to NC. At Vanu Archives, still fighting, 10 minutes on the cap. There must be some huge redeploy side going on there, if Emerald just coming in and just resecuring 1 point to delay the cap. And Bay Point is strongly NC now, but it's got a long time left on the cap.
Well, now we're down to sub 60 seconds on the Biolab, and there's a lot of Connery at Botany Wing, not inside the Biolab. The teleporter room is totally being camped now. Very difficult. I mean, they'd have to run straight in banana if they're going to make this happen, and with 35 seconds to go, they need to get 2 points though. That's the problem. They need, in such a short timer, you got to say that this base is now going to fall to Emerald.
Yeah, I'd say Connery should just sack this base at this point. They can't risk this in time. They'd never be able to run through the base fast enough.
So what, sack the base and then continue to defend Botany Wing? Because they're doing a counter-attack at TI Alloys. I like that a lot. They'll need to obviously keep Botany Wing defended, but I love the fact that they're going for TI Alloys to kind of perhaps safeguard or just give them another link to the Crown. That's great. Crimson Bluff, as we see, has fallen and is now secured by Connery. That's great for them in sort of a defensive play. And we expected Howling Pass to fall to the north as well. And we can see now that Vanu Archives is 50-50, still neutral. You have to favour Connery in terms of getting that base due to the nature of the number of connections and access points they've got to it. And there we go, that is the Biolab now in favour of Emerald. They'll need to get a couple, they'll need to have all 4 points before they can flip on Botany Wing, but you can already see that the Sunder train is going in, setting up spawn options for said base.
But are those 2 platoons going to go and end the fights at the Crown or Archives or Indar Bay Point? That's a lot of forces now freed up that Connery has to worry about, and these other neutral bases that are still going through. They'll have 3 huge bases, Archives, Bay Point and Crown. Very strong bases that they're still going through.
We're just watching here the Southern
It looks
approach.
like Archives, there's a few TR going there now. Maybe they're going to try and end the fight.
But with the air, well, that's the thing. It's another element with Indar. We can see that. Oh no, I can see some Connery Air Force. We need to go further south here. Actually, can you have a look there as well about the Connery Air Force and what's going on in the air battle? Because it's very hard sometimes with the observer camera to follow it. But in terms of Vanu archives, Emerald has turned up and they've got 2 of the capture points. So actually now it's the base cap is stalled. In terms of population numbers, it's about 51 to 49. It's essentially this is as close as pops can be. Because there's like Air Force and other elements in the skies kind of manipulating. We can see Maxes for Emerald kind of pushing onto the Bravo point, so they want to get the last point, but they're losing the Charlie point on the ground floor as well. Oh, that's a lovely C4 there by that light assault for Connery. Connery's, you know, continuing to hold onto the Bravo point with some muster.
The air situation is kind of strange. I've just been flying around having a look at trying to pin down the air platoons, and I've just seen a lot of very spread out aircraft having hover duels, almost one-on-one duels. It seems to be very different from what we've seen in previous ServerSmashes, where you just have 2 big blobs of air that just kind of man-fired out until one loses.
Well, the cap on TI alloys looks like it's been repulsed. The cap, there's an Emerald fresh cap going on now at a Botany Wing, which I think we'll go in a second. Small diversionary attack at Crimson Bluff. This is the thing, if you're Connery, if you got Crimson Bluff saved, the next thing you want to do now is push Palisade, right? Or guarantee that you get the crown and then push Palisade, because ultimately the crown is uncontested. Even though there's a link from Ceres Hydroponics, Emerald isn't doing anything at the crown. There's a fight going on at Howling Pass. That's good for Connery because they're fighting off their territory. Indar Bay Point, actually very interestingly, is now sub 1 minute, so perhaps Emerald is putting too much emphasis on Vanu archives when they should be going perhaps, or at least stalling Indar Bay Point.
Yeah, I think Indar Bay Point would be a very important base at the store. I don't think they can. There's too much of an advantage that the North has there. They can attack a lot of territories and take a lot of ground. And if I was Connery, I'd just be putting diversionary effects on Palisade, maybe, just to kind of.
So because the observer cam's a ground vehicle, I actually have different exit buttons for my air and ground vehicles. So be careful of that if that's safe for you. But sub 40 seconds now, we can see a small Connery squad going for the Charlie capture point. Doesn't look like it's being overly defended that much. No, there are some straggling defenders from Connery, but looks like and a lot of reinforcements coming in from the north. It's now down to 1 minute 40, but that is a long time in terms of defending Alpha and Bravo points. They do have population, Connery, though. They still do have about 59%, sorry, population. So in theory, they should be able to repulse this, maybe even get the Charlie point back. They know that Emerald spawned in. In terms of other bases that are going, T Alloys is back on, sub 60 seconds. Crown, there's nobody at the Crown. There's our one Vanu observer, and that's it. It's empty. Wow, a free Crown? What's going on?
T Alloys is a really cool fight as well. This is Connery really committing to this. I don't think they're committed to this. I thought it was just a ghost cap, but they've committed half a platoon, and they've got a nice point hold going on. This is like a tactical squad play almost.
I'm here.
They're taking quite a good rest position.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. We can see this on the mini-map in terms of how they're getting control. Doesn't look like there's many vehicles making any play. They're not going for the SU either. This is one of the bases that actually has it. Big push now on the double doors, yeah. This is going to be enough. The entire Connery force has to fall back to these double doors and try and make a stave. Oh, the Maxes have stopped. They've not gone in. Are they waiting for extra reinforcements?
They're not pushing. They're not pushing.
Oh, that's killer, because on 13 seconds, this is going to be super close. Every single Connery guy now needs to get on the Alpha point to guarantee this going through. They should get this.
That's the point. Stop being so far out.
I mean, they're outside, but they're being hesitant. They're not going in. Now they're going in, but on 1 second to go, it's not enough. And Connery gets it. Now, can they hold on to it? Because they are out popped at 66%. And the Crown, jeez, 15 seconds to go. There's nobody there for Emerald. All 3 points are in the hands.
Mozzie just dropped an A point, but I don't think that's enough. The B and C, they have to get to all 3 points. With 2 points, they'll still
2 guys dropped on the A point. They're not going to get there in time. Flipping the A point, but there's still 2 other points. There's a lightning at B. It's not enough. Wow, really? Okay, a free Crown capture. And now we can see that Connery is applying the pressure, and they've gone for Palisade. And while we were watching this, ladies and gentlemen, Indar Bay Point also fell for Connery. So in terms of population territory control, we are at a slight advantage for Connery at 48-46. The API here on the map hasn't updated, but crucially, the large outpost is definitely in favour of Connery right now.
You've got to think with those bases Connery have got, like, can Emerald actually contest them back? Like Bay Point, Crown, Crimson Bluff, they're all hard bases.
Vanu Archives is super important, and we can see with 1 minute 50 to go, it opens up so many links into Connery's bases. I mean, Connery is doing a good job at that kind of pushing Sandstone at, you know, Mining Gulch and Howling Pass. They were attacking. They're fighting off of their own bases, and Howling Pass. Sorry, the Palisade fight is great. They may need to save TI alloys, but the base that really matters more than anything right now for Connery is Vanu Archives. And if I was Emerald, I need to get a large outpost, and I need to get one that threatens Connery, and Vanu Archives is it. And with 2 points, they got sub 3 minutes.
The NC Max is on A point in the L-shaped building. They're getting slowly killed now, but that was what was delaying Emerald so long.
Which base are you talking about?
Strong in that building. This is at Vanu Archives.
Oh, rep, yep. You can see that, but the Charlie point's flipping again.
One load NC flipped Charlie, and all this TR using that teleport.
And the populations are now 50-50, so Connery's reinforced the overpop that was on Emerald and Vanu Archives. They're still 50-50 at Sandstone Mining Gulch. Looks like they're saving the 50-50 fight that's TI alloys. The Crown has very small cap going on that can take forever to go through. Emerald's redeployed onto Palisade and got a 70% population save. And it looks like there's a small 40-60-ish fight going on at Howling Pass, but nothing's actually ticking down. For Connery, however, all 3 points, however, at Vanu Archives are in the hands of Emerald, and if Emerald gets their hands on this, they will not let it go. They will clutch onto this base and then threaten a lot of bases. You got Snake Ravine Lookout that goes into Crossroads, Ayani Labs, and that's another way from Indar Bay Point to go all the way around Paris. The Research Labs into Regent Rock and into Paris Amp, and it's a very important base to lock down for Connery, and I don't think they'll be able to pull it off with 22 seconds to go. We can see that they've got lightnings and air ground kind of spawn options on the south teleporter pad.
Galaxy just dropped on C.
Galaxy,
now,
is that enough though? I mean, I only see a couple of guys.
So. It's not
Cap point's actually on the ground floor.
Oh, a big gal drop on the roof now, but I don't even.
They get Charlie. No, they're flipping Charlie, but it's not enough. They need another point. And that's it. It's going to go through. It's going to be Emerald. So very big play here for Emerald. Crucial that they got a large outpost. In terms of starting bases, Emerald's got 2 of the main 7. They got the Latin Biolab, and they got Vanu Archives. And the remaining 5, Indar Bay Point, Crown, Crimson Bluff, and NS Material Storage.
They have Howling Pass as well to TS. They have 3.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. 3 to 4. There you go. So it's 3 to 4 in the start. And the next base that's about to go through is Botany Wing. So if they can get Botany Wing, this being Emerald, it does secure their Biolab and allow them to move off and further into Connery's insides. 50 seconds to go. In terms of Air Force,
using a Sundra between the point and the spawn, they got it right in near the bridge, and that was just buying so much time. And they have Marauder Harassers and a lot of Sundras behind. You see this lot.
Oh yeah, the twin repair Sunders blocking the back door, kind of almost forcing with the Sundra. There was a Harasser there as well to go in via the ground, and they're basically waiting for this. It's going to be a big ask here. The population is up to 64%. Emerald is... They got to hold on. 36% population, 20 seconds to go. Connery needs to absolutely just charge to the point. They've got enough time. They've got enough runtime.
Destroying the infantry on the bridge. They've pulled in the air to ground now, and it's just massacring the Connery forces trying to reinforce the point.
8 seconds to go. They need to run upstairs. They can't wait around. This Max that was waiting there and just minding his own business. Now they're running up. Holy crap! 3 seconds! But the fact is, Emerald can spawn on the Sunders and re-push in here. It's to be seen. TR Maxes are trying to do something about it as Red's grenade war is going off. Oh, the fact is Connery's got the point now and it's flipping back in their favour. It's unlikely that...
That was a monstrous C4 by some TR then. He just... I don't know how many kills he got.
Yeah, but they did clear up the outside vehicles and they did get the point. But the thing is that required quite a large population. Now they need to stay here and control that. We can already see that Ayani Labs is under cap, and maybe Snake Ravine's about to go in that same way. So the number of lanes that we have at the moment, we've got 1 at Howling Pass, 2 at Crimson Bluff Palisade, 3, 4-ish between Alloys, Crown, and Ceres Hydro, which actually is ticking down. No, it's being. It is ticking down. We'll go check that in a second.
The problem with the Botany Wing safe though is they have such easy access from Alatum. Like the Connery forces are going to have to stay here because the Emerald can just attack any time.
Yeah, well the thing is that depending how you look at this, there's 9, 10-ish depending on what base you're going from links, and that's a lot of kind of spreading out. So either both teams spread out a lot of forces and try and cover all lanes, or you're going to come across lanes that are unmanned and will start ticking down. And Emerald's not giving up here. They do have the high ground, and Connery can't leave. They have to keep this population to save the base and possibly push back into the biolab, simply because Emerald will take advantage of this and they'll push straight back into botany wing with sub 2 minutes. Ayani Labs is still ticking down. Well. Okay, so a big redeployment, half platoon, pushed out the Ceres Hydroponics, and the difficulty is always spawn options with Sunders. It's very, very, very difficult. We're going to go over to Ayani Labs. Ayani Labs is also a base that is very hard to capture because of the spawn options. It's very exposed. There's nowhere really to put a Sunder. But it all comes down to air control. Now, this definitely is in Connery's sphere of influence in terms of air, although I haven't seen much of it, mainly because I've been pointing at the ground. But if we were to look for a Sunder, I'm not really seeing one, so perhaps they just brought on a... Oh, wait, there we go. There's a Sunder. Yep, so there's definitely got a Sunder, and they've got at least one max and a couple of infantry in surround. But it's an exposed outdoor capture point. I'd be very impressed if Emerald pulls this off, especially now that they're at 35%. We can see the points actually now beginning to flip. It's really, really difficult, some of these Indar bases, to cap because of the exposedness of the spawn options.
Yeah, this is a really horrible point. It's just air bombardment constantly. All you have is that small tree to give you cover, and it's not that much. Both sides seem to be making a lot of use of galaxies. I mean, maybe they're not getting shot down by air-to-air. It could be a change.
And they just Sunder, the Gal dropped on top of the Sunder that's out of Ayani Labs as well, so that's done. Sandstone Mining Gulch is now actually, we got about half a platoon, so we're going to go check that out. We'll try and kind of see the base fights going on all the different bases. We don't want to kind of focus too much on one in particular. So Galaxy on the roof of the double, he's got to get picked off in terms of anything anti-air. Well, he's getting repaired. Anything flak or even lockdown pounder from the spawn rooms is going to pick it off. Right, there you go. So that's the Galaxy.
Back on point at Botany Wing as well now. They're really strong with the air-to-ground and the Air Force here as well. And it's only
right, 55%. Yeah. So although they've got a slight pop advantage, thing is, Sandstone Mining Gulch, huge NC spawn numbers. Numbers inside the building. Not very many maxes. A redeployment play could come into effect here. Wow, the Mosquito landed on the roof. What's this hero up to? Not sure. He's repairing. He's repairing. What? He landed his Mosquito on the roof to repair.
The same place to repair your Mosquito.
Alright, so he's on the roof. Then what's this guy gonna do? Gets himself a heavy assault, and then he gets picked off, unfortunately. Fair enough. In terms of the actual fighting going in the base,
there's a TR max on the point, and he didn't get killed. And there's a huge TR pushing me up onto the point now as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to control the camera, guys. It's really hard. I don't have a lot of control. There we go. So yeah, so they are beginning to push up. Good sticky grenade on the wall there. Max is just kind of mauling them. Yeah, that's it. That's a push off. But the population involved to do that, only 54%. And I guess that Connery force might go back to Botany Wing, but with 40 seconds to go, it's asking a lot, especially if you can strangle the approach across the bridges, as you're saying with Air Force.
And the thing with those kind of pushes there as well is you want to know how many resources you use to do it, and how many resources they spent to stop you from taking the base. The TR Emerald force has more maxes than the Connery forces. And maybe Connery have an advantage, even though they didn't get the base, they still waste time and resources.
Well, they've pushed in here. Actually, they've used a lot of resources from maxes that weren't necessary. The ones that are still coming from the spawn room. They did make it here, they did get here, and they have made another save, but it involved a lot of numbers.
That's been here since the last fight. I mean, they just, even if I said they could get quick access from Latin, but you still have to go to the drop pad, they can just spawn instantly on the.
Yeah, and I can see like there's a definite redeployment vibe going on for Connery, and when they get to a base, they don't dominate with vehicles. Look, this is an Emerald attack, and they are dominating the surrounding area with Air Force, Spawn Sunderers, and Harassers. If you were looking at the Sandstone Gulch mining, it was a gal drop with maybe one max, and that was it. There was no additional force multipliers in like Sunderers and things surrounding the base. So I would need to. Palace has been saved, right, and looks like T Alloys is being saved as well. But I'd like to see Connery on the offensive, or maybe you can spot this on the map for me. Where they use force multipliers, where they turn up with Sunderers or Harassers or their own Air Force, and they dominate the building or the base, not just inside the capture point with their infantry. Research Labs is ticking down. It's probably a small squad or what. We'll just go check that out.
That's the thing. The Emerald has this this 3 link from Vano Archives, but they don't have a cap on Snake Ravine, and they don't have a cap on the Yanni Labs. And now they've got one through on the Yanni Labs. Now,
yeah, they got research labs in the Yanni Labs. And the thing is, as a Connery force, you want to hold on to Botany Wing so that you can counter push on the Biolab, perhaps, or hold it down. And another thing for Connery is they want to safeguard. The thing is, they've got Snake Ravine. They can threaten Vanu Archives. You want to fight at Vanu Archives because as long as you're fighting at Vanu Archives, you're not fighting at Yanni Labs and research labs of Snake Ravine. Wow, that's a full platoon at Sandstone for Emeralds. That's a really, really big pool. And you can see they're perhaps beginning to overpop on T-Alloys as well, but we're just going to have a quick look. It's small-scale fighting going on in NS Research Labs. So it's like small harassment forces, but if you send small kind of... Oh, air battle, let's check this out. If you send small harassment forces to bases that get them down to 2 minutes, that's when you can redeploy and then massively dunk a population in, because it'll be only a 2-minute fight, not a 4-minute fight.
This is a nice fight at TI Alloys. Looks like Hive from Connery fighting against PHX from Emerald. And the Emerald force is starting to fight uphill. They've put a Sunder in there that bridges the crown for some reason, and they're pushing up this cliff and getting... it's not going well for them.
I'm trying to see if I can't spot more Connery Air Force, but it looks like Emerald's Air Force is kind of fighting with impunity. They don't seem to...
There's a few lone Reavers above Snake.
Yeah, I'm watching like Reavers here and there, and I'm kind of hovering over Crossroads as well. And yeah, it's hard to say what's going on with the air battle here. It looks like, kind of, as you said, kind of small skirmishes. Well, there's more Reavers as you go further to the east, I guess.
So there's three Banshee Mozzies hunting down poor
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see that going off. The Alloys is saved while we were kind of observing that air fight. Indar Bay Point, nope. Okay, so half platoon at Ayani Labs. So it looks like NS Research Labs will be saved eventually due to the population. Botany Wing just went round, yeah. So Botany Wing is now in the favour of Emerald, so it's 47 to 48 in favour of Emerald. And now we're looking at Ayani Labs, and it's got a huge there's no teleporter room, guys. It's Indar maps. So we've got one spawn room that's been camped by the TR on all sides and all directions. They probably have a spawn sunder set up kind of out of sight. Yep, they've got a spawn sunder set up. So now it's to be seen. What's Connery going to do? Are they just going to redeploy here? Yeah, because
look at the map. Every base is on Connery's links. They're getting hacked, and they don't have a single offensive hack. They're not pushing the enemy at all. The Emerald can just do whatever they want right now.
Yeah,
because they have 2 bases about to hit sub 1 minute on cap.
Well, I mean, it was a good start, but right. So okay, Galaxy for Connery over the spawn room. I'm not sure what they're doing. Actually, so the Gal dropped on the spawn room. I don't know, but anyway, so the point is they're spawning in now, and they're up 58%. But this is a redeployment spawn in with infantry only. I would maybe, if it's effective, that's fine in terms of nanite and resources and whatnot. That's fine. But NS Research Labs is still going on, and this is like 1 squad versus 1 squad fighting. If you're this Emerald force right now, okay, and you think you're going to lose the Ayani Labs fight, so long as there's a spawn sunder, redeploy, spawn, and immediately NS Research Labs and mega pop that base.
NS Research Labs is now at 50 seconds, and I can only see 1 NC coming in to resecure the point. I mean, if Emerald had brought anything here, this would have been a lost base.
So yeah, so I don't see us. Yes, it's just one infiltrator. This one guy, TR-150, right, from AOD. Now he's got a beacon and he's got some reinforcements.
Yeah, he's got his squad in now. This could be bad.
And he's reinforcing. Okay, so I see a Galaxy now for Connery turning up pretty much almost at the last moment here, and a second Galaxy incoming. The fact is, if there was a Sunder, if like this infiltrator had managed to get a Sunder and deploy it, the ability to redeploy the forces from Ayani Labs here would be huge. In fact, they get a whole bunch of people and they're on the point. 15 seconds to go. How many people are inside these NC Connery? Alright, here we go. Some heavy assaults on the point. They've caught the Emerald guys a little bit from behind. They're fighting for control of the capture point, but it's not enough.
Is this actually
this is going to be so close! No way! Wow, they were there just a bit too late.
What a play from Emerald. Or what a misplay by Connery even.
It should have never taken down that much. You know, even just 1 squad going there would have been sufficient. Now, is Emerald gonna fight to hold on to this? Because Connery's here. They need to take NS Research Labs back. It's very important. But at the same right, at what cost? TR Alloys is ticking down. And Snake Ravine Lookout is ticking down. And without any spawn options, Emerald got this for free without realistically fighting, but now they're going to fight for it. A full-blown 4-minute fighting cap at the base, that's hard. I mean, that's not something you can easily pull off.
But look at the huge Connery forces coming in now at TI. They're spreading out all the points, all the entrances. They're pushing double doors, they're pushing small stairs, pushing big stairs. I think this is going to get a resecure at TI now, for sure.
Yeah, we're looking at Snake Ravine Lookout at the moment, and it's another infantry redeployment from Connery here. We're not really seeing any vehicles being pulled from their VPAD. In fact, it looks like a lot of their vehicles just get harassed. We can see Emerald's kind of harasser force, and any vehicle they do have, you can see one Sunder is getting picked on by the Emerald Air Force. So yes, as an infantry-only force, they're able to get the capture point back, but the control outside of immediate bases and spawn rooms is difficult, and maybe that lies in...
Stairs at Snake Ravine, though. Some NC have decided to use the stairs just to the west, and they've kind of cut the TR off, but it looks like they got picked off.
Oh yeah, so TR 56% though, yeah, and... Palisade is an offensive cap, that's cool, but let's have a look at Palisade and see what kind of force multipliers Connery's using. And the answer is, some of their air forces here, they're trying to keep the skies clear. I mean, that's good. We can see they've got deployed Sunders on the outside air. We don't actually see any battle Sunders. That would be nice to see. Sunders used on the point, because it's an exposed external capture point. That would be very powerful with Bulldog Fury. They've got air control ish in the skies. They're contesting it against... Emeralds. I mean, this is positive for Connery. 80 seconds to go.
Well, they're moving up across the bridge and holding them down at their building to try and...
So they're not being ground pounded. That's the important thing because of the exposedness of this base.
Yeah, because their air force is here, those NC Maxes can get up to the doorway where they're strong rather than sitting back at that open point where they're maybe a bit weaker.
But at what point? Alright, the thing is, in terms of the center of the map and the east, okay, Howling Pass, Ennis Material Storage, Crimson Bluff, that's all fine for Connery. If they get Palisade, even though they're now slightly underpopped, that is also very, very good. It locks down all the bases. They've got the Crown, they've saved allies. So the center and the east is kind of a static front, if only going slightly in favor.
To NS Research Labs as well. Look at how many people Connery have brought there. They must
right,
that base.
But the entire west of this map is not a mess, but there's a lot of fires going on that Emerald has to put out. So the NS Research Labs are committing massive numbers to get that back, which probably they really do need to. And with 20 seconds to go, yeah, the thing is they're pushing now in on the single door on the L building with 15 seconds. I don't know if it's enough because Connery's doing a really good job of just watching the choke point. We don't really have any air reinforcements or galaxy drop-ins. There's just a big air battle going on in the skies.
Just to buy time.
Oh, but they are pushing desperately onto the point. The Connery forces, to be honest, should fall back to the point. Yeah, so that's really well done by Connery. Emerald, it's a little bit too late. So it does push the bases back to 47-48, so it still brings it back to a one base flip. I mean, the Air Force is here, but they need to hold on to it now. They need to clear out. And then, because the Crown is saved, it means they can theoretically push into East Canyon Checkpoint now and push further north. It does limit, you know, the center and the east lanes to 3 bases: Hydroponics, Solar, and Hydroponics, East Canyon, and Howling Pass. But look at that, TI Alloys is ticking down again. 1 minute 40.
Is definitely in the hands of Connery, which is going to free up a lot of people, which you would assume are going to go to TI Alloys.
Wow, the SU's been destroyed.